Hey fellas, your commissioner here, coming at you for week 11. It's good, week 11 of NFL action. Uh, Back at it, able to clear my head up, hopefully to give you guys a much better, much more normal video this week. I'll just be honest with you. I wasn't really sick last week. I just had my head muddled up by some girl. I've since been able to kind of cleanse that, clear it up, refocus myself on you guys, my priorities. What's important is you guys in this league, obviously. You know, did a lot of reflecting over the weekend. It was good for my growth, good for my development. I think you guys will see a better commissioner because of it. Girls, man, they can just sink their claws into me, man, and they get me all out of whack and not being myself. So hopefully, like I said, I'm trying to learn from that and grow. And you guys deserve better. I'll be better. I promise. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into a recap of last week's games. Oh yeah, by the way, it's Winter Wonderland today too. It's snowing down here in the LR. We had some snow I think yesterday up there in NWA, y'all's neck of the woods. Our Texas boys, no snow yet, but I tell you what, man, I feel like a little kid in a candy store every time I see snow. It's something else. It's just driving down, just a nice little dusting. Conditions aren't too bad, and I, I mean it's great. It's great. So. Let's recap of last week's games. A lot of blowouts. A lot of blowouts this week, guys. A lot of people showed up. A lot of people didn't. Closest game was 40 points. Yikes, 40 points. That's that's not a small margin of defeat there. I don't really have much analysis to say. I'll just quickly kind of run through them, I guess. Start off with the Kraft Parmesan cheese game of the week. Myself and Hawk. Uh, Big matchup, looked like it was going to be a shootout early on. Kind of. Actually, no, this one never really was in doubt. Unfortunately for Hawk, I got almost 30 points from all three of my receivers, two touchdowns from all three of them. My defense, IDP, didn't really do anything. Running backs didn't really do anything. Quarterback didn't really do anything. But obviously I left 48 points on the bench and I cut 18 points from the defense. The night before, like I said, my head was just not, I wasn't thinking straight. Um, but I was still able to come out and put up 140. Love to see that. Hawk, the doo-doo team of the week, only one of two teams to not score over 100 points. I hate to see that. He falls to 6-4. I move up to 5-5. Keeping playoff hopes alive. Jeff Fisher streak alive, baby. Then we had the Dirty Birds of War and Wilson's Phallic Phenoms. Plunk stays back on track, wins 153 to Wilson's 98.8. Really strong games from Chubb, obviously coming out party. Julio has learned how to catch touchdowns, so watch out. Kamara got back to form. Just not a very good week for Wilson. So outside of Wentz, he's now 3-7, pretty much out of the playoffs this year. And Plunk moves to 6-4. Then we had, man, the rich just get richer. Nick drops 169 almost. Nice. To JD's 114. JD just not enough firepower. I mean, he got 40 points from Zach Ertz. That's got to be near a record for a tight end. Really carried by him. 11 points out of his IDP, 14 from his defense, 30 from luck. I mean, his running backs really didn't perform too well this week. And you look at his bench, he had 25 from Corey Davis on his bench, 28 from Matt Breida on his bench. I mean, he's 9-1, folks, and I don't know who's going to beat him. I don't know who's going to beat him. I sure would love to see it, but it's not looking promising. JD falls to 5-5 as well. Then we got Swamp Donkeys Blaine riding the ship, drops a monster week, 173 to Duncan just continues to pump out solid performances. He puts up 130. Unfortunately, it wasn't enough. At 130, we're getting 0 points from one of his players and -3 from his defense. So, really good for Dunk to be able to still put up that many points. But uh, Blaine's three-headed monster of running backs, man, they balled out this week. They show how deadly and potent his team can be. Blaine moves to 4-6. Duncan's 3-7, probably also out of the playoffs. So then we got Truck Nuts lost, of course. Of course he did to Savoy, 152-103. Ford's 3-7, pretty much done. Savoy 6-4, very much in the hunt. And Rip had a fantastic week, dropping 167 to Craig's 126. Not a bad week from Craig. Just ran into a buzzsaw this week. A lot of teams. Craig moves to 4-6, still not completely out of it. And Rip moves to 6-4, and his team is looking primed to. I think he's number 2 right now. Yeah, he's primed to lock up a first round bye in the playoffs. So let's see. Speaking of Rip, we had maybe like our 4th trade of the season just yesterday. A little bit questionable. A little bit questionable if you ask me, but you got to think maybe he's just playing for the future because Wilson's season's pretty much done in the tank. So he trades off Travis Kelce to Rip. In return, he gets Greg Olsen. Not really a future play. I don't know about that one, Jim. But he gets Sony Michel. Obviously, that's going to be the keeper value there for Sony. So, good potential keeper there. Let's see, was Sony drafted? Let's see. He was drafted. Okay. What was that be? The 6th round, probably. So not bad. Not bad. 6th round pick next year. Not bad for Sony. A lot of money dropped on defenses this week. $12, $11, $7. I mean, I put in $2 bids on all of them, on all 3 of those, hoping I'd get one of them. Didn't. So I guess we'll go back in the pool. Sneaky stash by Nick of picking up Rex Burkhead and Josh Adams. We'll see how those pan out. A couple other no one really of note that really warrants really any discussion. So I'm not going to talk about them. Okay, so that brings us to our preview of. Actually, you know what? I forgot to talk about this. Arkansas played LSU. Saturday, obviously we lost a Golden Boot. Only lost by 7. Probably really should have lost by 14. But they did some shit where they didn't score. They could have scored, but they didn't score. And then they tried to score but couldn't get in. I'm not really sure what they were doing there. I kind of forgot the game. I turned it off at like halftime when we down like 17-0. Voice crack. Yeah, scamps, man. I'm just excited. My voice is cracking. It's exciting times. Yeah, so I got drunk by like the end of the first quarter off of 3 rum and cokes, and I pretty much just like, fuck this. I'm going to bed. It's nice that we got back in. It made it competitive, I guess, but whatever. So preview of this week's games. A lot of debate for me on what the game of the week should be. I think there's going to be a lot of good games this week. Sorry. It really comes down to 2 games. It could be 3 games if I can't even say with a straight face. 2, 3, and 7 teams. It's projected to be very close. I mean, 107 to 108 between. We'll just go ahead and get into this game first. You got the Phallic Phenoms and Truck Nuts, and what is most likely a preview of the Horse Ass Trophy. Both these guys are 3-7. Final nail in the coffin for either one of them. Definitely nail in the coffin for either one of them if they lose. Sorry, I'm having kind of a bad hair day. I didn't put shit in my hair today, so it's kind of not really loving the flow, but still trying to put on for you guys. I don't know. Ford will probably win it. I think Wilson's looking at the horse ass trophy this year, obviously. So not much to say, not much to say about those two teams that game. So let's see. Should that be the game of the week, or should this one be the game of the week? We'll go with that one. So we got the Scamps of the Night Kings. What was almost the game of the week, a game time decision to be game of the week. Two 5-5 teams, only 5-5 teams in the league. Should be very, I think, a good game. I think JD does have a slight edge. I think he does have the better players overall. Maybe not the top end of what I've got, but I think JD. It's a big game for both of us now. I mean, whoever wins this game is got an in for the playoffs with only 2 games left after this week. So I don't know. If you lose this game, you pretty much got to win your last 2 to feel realistic about making the playoffs for either one of these teams. So I think JD makes a slight edge. I'm thinking I can't finish 500 this year because we have a 13-game regular season, but I think 13 or 500's in my future. So right around there. Jeff Fisher, 7-9, book it. And then we got the Badonka Gronk and Creamy Dreamies. I mean, how can you not pick Nick? You got to pick him until he loses. I like what I've seen out of Craig the past like 6 weeks, 7 weeks. But I mean, it just doesn't matter who Nick puts in there; it just turns to gold. So I think another probably 150-point week for Nick, who's pretty much, I think, already locked up the scoring title for the season. So now it's just a matter of, can someone please not let him win the championship? Please. I'm begging you. I'm begging you, guys. Please. So, yeah, he's going to win that one and probably put the nail in Craig's season. Let's see. Skip that one for a second. Got discount double check, another 99%, 2, 6, and 4 teams. And what could have been the game of the week if it wasn't projected to be a blowout. I'm not really I mean, Savoy's going to probably have to play Derrick Henry this week, which, seeing what he did last week, is probably not going to repeat for a while. So he's probably looking at like a 5-point game out of Derrick Henry. Rip has some pretty good matchups this week, obviously with Kelsey. I mean, you look at his roster, it's pretty stacked, folks. It's pretty stacked. I think he's going to win and kind of further cement himself into that 2 seed. Then we got Kickers Lives Matter, Camp Fort Storm. Duncan crawling, fighting, scratching, clawing to try to keep his playoff hopes alive. Very, very slim. Obviously, he needs to win out and get some help. Starts this week. I do think he does it. Folks. I think he finds a way to get a win against Hawk and start to make Hawk worry a little bit about potentially missing the playoffs. So it should be a good game there. Let's see. So that leaves us with, our done that. Let's see. Anybody got any bright ideas from the audience? Any ideas on what the game of the week could be? I'm at a loss. Don't want to waste that. I don't want to do that. I think I've done this before. We'll just go ahead and do this. This is a good one. It's a good one. It'd probably be more appropriate for next week's State of the Union. I might not have any left by then. I'm going to take that risk. Let me do something else. Hold on. Sorry for the tease, fellas. Well, shit. Let's see. No, let's just, you know what? I deserve it. Let's just go with an oldie but a goodie, eh? How about it? How about we go with a cool, crisp, refreshing Miller Lights? Miller Lite. It's a fine. Sorry with this. The camera's backwards for me, so it's kind of hard to know which way to turn it. I know it looks good for you guys, but it sure is difficult for me. So Miller Lite. It's a fine Pilsner beer, only 96 calories. The official beer of I don't know if it's the official beer of the NFL. I don't think it is. I think that's Bud Light. It's the official beer of Jerry's World. I know that. That's kind of surprising. They don't have 96 calories anywhere written on here. Um, but whenever you're, after a hard shit, after a hard day of work, or just kicking it with the fellas, or kicking it with your boys, anytime, a date, anytime, man. Miller Lite, you can't go wrong. At only 96 calories too. You don't have to worry about packing on too many lbs. The holidays are coming up. You're gonna have plenty of nice food, and you're gonna, if you want to feel less bad about yourself, have a nice, cool, crisp, refreshing Miller Lite. So Miller Lite, the official beer of the Morse Men's Fantasy Football League. Love that sound. Nothing better, eh? Cool, crisp, and refreshing. That beer actually needs to be drunk by soon, probably by the end of this weekend. It's starting to get a little skunky, but beside the point. Okay, so that's the Swamp Donkeys and the Dirty Birds of War. These two teams, looking at the records, you'd think, well, why is this the game of the week? I mean, Blaine's 4-6, Connor's 6-4. He's gonna kill him, isn't he? Well, not so fast, my friend. I really think that Blaine has found a formula. I think his team's rounding into shape after going through some struggles midway through the season. And I think he's hot, man. He's got the pieces. He's got the right players. Start off with the quarterbacks. You got Cam Newton at Detroit. The defense has been getting absolutely gashed versus Kirk Cousins at Chicago on Sunday night. Going to be cold, bear weather. I don't like Kirk to get any more, maybe 20 points in that one, and I think Cam has the potential to get 30. So we're going to give the edge to Cam in that matchup. Battle of the running backs, we got Kamara, Dalvin Cook coming back. I don't know if he's going to be limited or not. Versus Ezekiel Elliott and Melvin Gordon in two primo matchups. Obviously, got to go with Blaine there. I think Kamara can maybe cancel one of them out, but he can't cancel out both. Battle of the receivers. Here's where we'll flip it a little bit. We got Alshon Jeffrey, Tyler Boyd versus Julio and Juju. Obviously, Julio's figured it out. Juju's very, very good. He's not going to face Jalen Ramsey. And the Jags defense has been kind of skeptical the last few weeks anyway. Tyler Boyd's got a tough defense and passing defense in the Ravens. And Alshon, the Saints have a pretty respectable pass defense as well. So I'll give the edge to Plunk there at the receiver. Battle of the tight end. Obviously, it's Hurts Blaine. He's got Kittle on bye. Kittle's been one of the absolute biggest steals of the draft. What a gem. What a hidden gem Blaine found in this guy, man. I tell you. Just puts a smile on my face. Now, he knew what he's doing. He's good for one of those picks every year, man. I tell you. But you got Trey Burton against Minnesota. I'll give the slight edge over Ricky Seals-Jones for Trey Burton and Plunk. And then battle of the flex, we got Marlon Mack and Mark Ingram projected to be a push. Two fairly decent defenses for both of these. I think that it might be a little bit closer, so Ingram might be used a little bit more. Tennessee has a pretty good D. They stifle? I mean, they held Zeke in check, and Marlon Mack is not Ezekiel Elliott, so I think Mack might struggle this week. So I'll give the edge to Mark Ingram in that one. All in all, I think Blaine does end up coming out on top and fighting, crawling, and scratching to get in the playoffs. So I think he can do it. Let's see. So this weekend we got Mississippi State at Mississippi State, 11 a.m. game. I think the line's like 21.5, something like that. Last time I checked, if memory serves. I don't know, man. I think we got them and Missouri left. Is that it? I think that's the only two games left this season. Probably not going to be good. Probably going to be drinking a lot of these bad boys to forget it. But, it is what it is. We got Kelly Bryant making a decision on December 4th, so hopefully that's good. We got a pretty stacked-ass recruiting class coming in. So, hey, there's always next year. So, anyways, y'all be safe and good luck this week, and whoop it.